If you're over 50, I am here to represent you. I know what it's like to be on social media, and we're full of filters and perfect skin and so many things that we just don't have anymore. And I'm not going to use a filter, and I'm not going to blur any lines. This is the real deal. So I'm here to represent, and I hope you're having a good start to your new year. I'm Sonia, your over 50 menopausal skincare makeup loving gal. I've been a cosmetologist ever since I've been, 19 or so. And I have a cold, excuse my voice, but I'm here to represent, and I promise to bring you the best of what I have and what I know, but I'm always going to bring it to you genuinely and authentically. It's very important to me. It's hard to find in a world like this in social media. So what's going on? If you're here, I would love to hear from you. I am putting a link up here. If it is not there, I hope I don't jump out. This link is going to show you there it is. It's going to show you how to get a color match to the makeup that I'm going to use. So I can match you to eyeshadow. I can match you to your face colors or whatever. You can just stay on here and hang with me and just watch some makeup tips. I'm going to do hooded eyes. I'm going to do my makeup. I'm going to do everything today. My brows and my eye primer are on, and I obviously have eyelashes on. So I don't talk about mascara, but make sure you're using mascara if you have hooded eyes for sure. I know sometimes we get really sparse lashes, and I get it. So do the best that you can. That's why I'm using, hi Cindy. That's why I use fake lashes. They're so sparse. I can't even do eyeshadow or what is it called? Mascara. But make sure that you are. I don't want you to think that I'm forgetting that part of it. So I'm going to do eyeshadow. We're going to just talk about some basic tips. I'm going to do everything. Hopefully I won't have to blow my nose while I'm on here. So my dad, I had to take him to the emergency room, and we sat in there, and it was so funny. I mean, it wasn't funny being at the emergency room, but I was sitting there, and we were, the nurse has him aside, and we're talking, and he was okay. And talking, and she goes, "Have you been around anyone sick lately?" Yes. Everyone out in the waiting room. I mean, there was, this one girl was so sick. I'm like, yes, we've been around some sick people. It's just a funny question. Anyway, I am going to use an eyeshadow brush that's double-ended. All of Saint's brushes are double-ended. And the reason they are is they love to streamline everything that they do. And what I mean by that is this is a palette that holds everything. It holds my eyeshadow, my illuminator, my contour, my bronzers, my blush, my lip colors, my foundation shades, my brighteners, what you might call highlight, whatever. It holds it all. So, I mean, even lip balm, I'm probably forgetting something. And so then they like to have their brushes to be double-ended because then that's less in your makeup bag. So I can go somewhere, I can travel really easily with just one little tiny makeup bag. And you should have seen what I had before I got this makeup. So getting back to getting older. So when I was reaching my late 40s, I really struggled to find makeup that was going to work with my skin. I didn't know what was happening with my skin. I mean, obviously I was getting some lines underneath my eyes, and the makeup was sticking in there, and everything that I knew to do wasn't working. I mean, we've kind of done the same thing with a few little tweaks and changes from age 14 on. And then it was just like, throw it all out the window. I didn't know what to do. So I really got to where I was wearing no makeup. And the reason, let me put on my stuff here. Skincare. Do skincare, guys. I don't care if you're 75 years old and used, dial soap. It's never too late to use skincare. The skincare that I use is a Korean skincare. I love it. I want to get that on my under eyes so it can soak in. I'm a little bit dry today. I think it's the cold and the cold medicine that I took. Okay, so I got to where I was wearing almost no makeup, and that's not me. I love makeup. I love all things beauty and all the things. And I just couldn't find anything. And so I was watching online, and I watched this gal, and she starts talking about hooded eyes and makeup and all that. So I landed on this cream makeup that's for the face. Now, my eyeshadows are powder, but these are creams, and it's just life-changing. So for me, and then I am one of those that I don't like gatekeeping, which I didn't even know what that word meant for quite a little while. And I was like, I am a sharer. I'm probably an oversharer, and it is what it is. And I like telling people things, and I found this makeup and I was thinking about my friends and I needed to tell them about it. And I was just like, I'll become an artist. I had no idea what that meant, but I've been doing this now since 2020 and here I am. I still love the makeup. So I've never found anything else, anything like it. So I'm going to start out with eyeshadow though, and we're going to start out with a lighter color, which is Pup on the lid, and then I'm going to use Lullaby in and above my crease. So hooded eyes, I think a lot of us have hooded eyes. Some of us are born with them. Some of them, they've gotten worse. My one droops more than my other one. Bless America. And hooded eyes are when, like you can see, they're actually laying on my lashes. So hooded eyes are just this right here is coming over the mobile lid, and you need to just create lift and dimension. So everything that I'm going to talk about is for that purpose. We're going to create lift and dimension on every place on our face because we have dimension. Like we have nasolabial folds, these laugh lines, whatever you call them, we're sinking in. Like we have dimension. It's just not always in the right place. So we're going to add little subtle things here and there to get the best makeup look that we can. Because honestly, as a mature woman, we have to wear less makeup too. So there's that, because it just will look cakey and add to our texture. So texture is, I'm giving you a whole lot of information here. Texture is fine lines, not so fine lines, pores. I got pores. I actually have some dry skin on my nose. Well, I think I got it hydrated enough. I have acne scarring here on my chin. So all of that, you need to, it's the right colors and the right amounts. So let's get started on the eyes. I've jabbered on so much. All right, so I have a color changing tile, this right here, and I don't have it in my palette at the moment. So this is all magnetic. Actually, let me just pop some out for you because I want to put this in. I'm going to take this color here. It's Eve. And I like to use something pointy because if I take my finger, I'll inevitably dagger it and ruin it. So there's this, and that's Eve. She's so pretty and basic. And I'm going to pop those out. And then I'm going to take this color changing tile and pop it in. If you don't have one of these, you can get a different brand. I mean, if you're not using Saint, they have them on Amazon. But with Saints, what's nice is I don't know why you'd ever have to buy another one. I feel like it's a one and done unless you know what I mean? How are you going to ruin it? So anyway, all right, let's go into Pup. Pup is like a cool shade, like it right there. It's not as pink as some of this others. It's just like a nice cool base. This is, hi Andrea. I love the name Andrea. I almost named all three of my daughters Andrea, by the way. This is Saint Makeup. It's a magnetic palette, magnetic makeup. So the link that you see in front of you has some information there about it. So that's what it is. All right, I'm going to use Pup on my eyelid. So sometimes I use two brushes. Today I will. I'm going to grab the smudge brush and I'm going to go into Pup, which is a matte. The two colors I'm going to use are matte, and I might finish up with a shimmer. And I'm just going to sweep it on my mobile lid. The mobile lid's the one that blinks over your eyeball. So you'll hear me say that. And mobile meaning it moves. So that's why I call it that. It's just one way to, I don't know what else to call it. So let's just get it on that mobile lid like so. And we're gonna, for hooded eyes, you want a lighter shade on the mobile lid. It doesn't have to be white. Don't think that, but just a lighter shade. And then as you move up into your crease, you're gonna have a medium to dark shade. And the reason being is this is where your light is gonna open the eye up, and then the dark is gonna help create a crease, which you just don't have. I mean, we have a crease, but let me show you where my crease is. Okay, here's like, my crease is way in here. See that right there? And if I go like that and put eyeshadow in there, you can't see it. So we want to make sure that we get it above our natural crease. And that's going to create that dimension and the lift that we were talking about. So I'm going to take next, and if I sneeze, I am so sorry. I'm trying not to. This is Lullaby. Lullaby is a really pretty mauve color. Again, it's a matte. I really like it. I feel like every single eye color should wear it. And it's because it's not too pink. It's just a nice pretty mauve. It's kind of almost in that neutral area. So I'm going to put that on there. You can tap it off. And then I'm going to look at myself. And if you want, you could take the dense end. I guess I should do this. And you're going to mark it. Like, where do I want that color? Well, you have to be able to see it. So we're going to mark it right there. So let's just do that first. So just look, Matt, you mad, bro? Yep, I'm mad. That's what I look like with my face. I just have one of those faces and you can see it. So just get it above your natural crease. I already have some on the end here. So I like to tilt my head up. It's just easier for me. Instead of like closing my eye, I like to kind of leave them open and tilt up, and then I can feel like I get a better look. Hold back on your brush and just sweep. Like so. And we're not going to get anything outside between the corner of my eye and the tail of my brow. And I'll pull a paper out and show you a neat little trick here in just a minute. So we're just going to sweep really gently. We're not going to swoosh the crap out of our eyeballs. I'll do that. Sometimes I watch myself as in a recording. I'm like, and I'm like, Sonia, for the love of everything, we need to be gentle. We don't need to be, you know, just be gentle as you're doing it. So again, above the crease. And so we're just creating that lift and that dimension. Already my eye's getting lifted up and we're creating that dimension. We don't have a brow bone. You know how you see someone that has that real pretty, maybe slightly, maybe not deep set eyes, but they have that really pretty brow bone. You know, they don't have to have their eyebrow up that high, but they have that real pretty brow bone. You're just creating an illusion that you have one. That's just, I mean, that's all we can do. So again, let's go in and above our crease. I really guess I don't get it in my natural, but I can just feel it. Like I can feel that brow bone right there. So we just do that. Okay. And then don't get it too high. We don't want it all the way up to the brow. And then I'll probably do some fine tuning, but let's go ahead and go over here on the other side and then tilt the chin up and swoop gently. And then here you actually don't, it's not a U, upside down U. You're actually going to do that maybe a little bit, but then you're going to take it out just a fuzz. Okay, out towards that tail of that brow. And the reason is that that'll help give you fill in and give you a little bit more lift where you need it. Okay, and then we're just going to sweep a little bit there. My nose is running. Shouldn't have come on here with a cold, should I have? Okay, so this is when you clean your brushes. You get done with your makeup, you've had a cold, go clean your brushes. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is a pretty mauve color. I like how that looks, but what I'm going to do next is I am going to take a paper and I'm just going to create a nice lift on the edge without putting a wing or anything like that. So it's not a wing, but it's simply making sure that I don't get too low. Oh, this is such a dirty one, but we're going to use it anyway. I make sure I don't get too low with my eyeshadow. Let's kind of flip it out. Okay, so here's a one that I've used often, and I'm going to go from the corner of my eye to the tail of my brow because we don't want any eyeshadow down there. And we're going to tap it, just one little tap into there, and then like that. So see how, remember I said we're not going to go in that U? Take that over and make sure you're getting some up high enough there. And then that's just going to create a little bit of an extra lift on the outside of the eye. Let me do this one. Maybe this one will be a little bit better, more noticeable. And if your placement isn't right, that's okay. If you got it too inward, I've done that before, just move it and redo it. No big deal, okay? So see how that gave a nice little line, a nice little bit of lift. It's not a very dark eyeshadow, so it's not hugely noticeable. But what we don't have is a dark color down there dragging our eyes down. Okay, I am going to take Cupcake and I'm going to put it underneath my brow like so because I like that light color just underneath the brow to help define it. Do your brows, ladies. If you haven't had them waxed, you haven't paid any attention to them, I don't very often say pull out the magnifying mirror, but pull out the magnifying mirror and give them a look. Can you guys see a link? It's saying 0 featured, but it's saying that it's there. Can you guys see my color match link? Let me know. Okay. So do your brows and make sure you create a little bit of an arch, and that'll help give you lift also. All right, I'm going to finish up with just a little bit of a shimmer on my eyes. So look at my eyes. I mean, you probably can't remember what they look like to begin with, but look at the difference. Like, look at the difference of how I have lift and dimension, where before, when you looked at me, you could like really see how my eyes were sagging. And now you start to see this incredible lift. I would actually probably go, well, no, I won't. All right, so there you got that. That was Pup and Lullaby. And then I'm going to put a little bit of this color. I think it's Sabrina. Let me pop it out. I love Drift also. Oh, no, this is Drift. We use Drift. And I'm going to put a little bit on my finger. And now here's a little bit of a pro tip. And this is a little bit of an opinion on my part. So on my hood, this is all hood right here. And you see how it even hangs right there? I try not to get any shimmer right here on that part that hangs down because I feel like it accents it. If it doesn't bother you, then by all means put the shimmer where you want it, but I'll show you what I mean when I apply it. All right, that was a little bit of cupcake. Okay, I'm gonna use my pinky or my ring finger, but I think I'm gonna use my pinky. I'm gonna put this back in there like so, and then I'm gonna go like that, okay? And then I kind of like to pull like this, and I feel like I can get it on better, and I'm gonna apply it to just that mobile lid, and I'm gonna take it a little bit from the tear duct into the center of my eye, okay? This just gives it a little bit of that element of a little bit more opening. You can see it. Oh, thank you, Cindy. It says it's not showing, but you know, social media. I think my eyelashes are about falling off or something. They're looking weird. Hang on. Oh yeah, I got one wonky. So we'll just do that. Hang on, let me do you see it? How it's hanging out weird? What's up? If everything went really well, guys, it really would not be true, right? I mean, hello, we live in a world of, wow, I've never had this happen on a video though. I mean, I even checked them before I came on. There, she's kind of back in place. All right, so let's add a little bit to this left eye. I'm afraid to move it now. On the mobile lid only, so tear duct over. Okay, you can start in the middle too if you feel that that's weird. Okay, so how are we doing there? And then I'm going to take a little bit of, on this dense end, I'm going to tap into a little bit of that shimmer, and I'm going to get just a little bit on the tear duct in. But I don't like to get it underneath my eye down here because I have a lot of wrinkles right there. Shimmer will show wrinkles, or light color will show wrinkles. So keep that in mind on every single thing that you do with your makeup. Don't put illuminator ever underneath your eyes as a mature woman, and don't put any light concealer or light color on your under eyes if you have wrinkles, because it will just accent them and you're not going to be happy, and you're going to be like, why do I see wrinkles? All right, under eyes. My eyes are done, excuse me. And then I'm going to put a little bit of Lullaby just down here on the bottom. But I'm also going to put bronzer, so I'm not going to worry about it. So when I'm all done with my eyes, the main thing that I'm looking for is, did I create dimension? Can I see the color? Yes, I can. Did I not get it too low down there? Yes, I did not get it too low. And I have lift and I have dimension. So that's the main thing that I'm looking for with my hooded eyes. Sorry, guys. I had eyelashes going wonky. All right, now, because of this case, and I just did eyeshadows, now I'm going to pop into my cream makeup right here. I have everything here, and I'm just going to start the process of what I do when I apply my makeup. The beauty of this is you can do it any way you want. You can order a little palette, like we have a 4. You can start out here. It's however you want to start. It really is. I think that's how I started, was with a 4. But, you know, now I'm going to go big. I have huge palettes everywhere. So I'm going to go within here, and I'm actually going to start with bronzer first. I know, crazy pants, right? So I'm going to take this brush, Saint gave us Artist, which is a travel brush. Where is it? It's my favorite brush right now. So I'm going to take it, and I'm going to go into my bronzer, which is Bella. And I'm just going to kind of warm things up. We can, as mature ladies, I feel like this is just a really great way to help blend in melasma, rosacea, those types of things, and give us some dimension and help us to use less makeup. So I'm going to put bronzer up here, and it just, that dimension starts to come. Now I'm not going to put any on my redness, but I am going to put it out here. And it'll start kind of blending everything in. Well, maybe I will take a little bit on my redness. Okay, and then I have a white area under here that I always like to fill in. This is a cream bronzer, and what I love about it is it's translucent. It doesn't give you coverage. Like, I can't put this on and cover my skin, but what I can do is I can put it on and add a really pretty glow, and I can add a sun-kissed look, which is what I'm looking for. All right. So that's on, and then I'm going to go in and hi Karen, what's up? I'm so glad you guys are here. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to take and put darker color on my darker areas. So when you look at your face, if you've been color matched by me and you're like, I'm still not sure the process that I do, pay attention to this part right here. Or if you're just like, I'm not sure how this works, what does she do? This is really key to mature skin makeup. So what I like to do is where I had the redness and where I have some discoloration on my eyes and where I have some redness down here, I take a darker foundation color. And then I will take into this and then I put it just in that dark area. If you need it to be in a smaller area, take a smaller brush and just put it like that, just in the darker areas. Okay, for me, I can kind of smoosh this color out a little bit and it doesn't affect the look that I get. Of course, I said I'm going to clean my brushes, so I have a cold. So I'm going to take that darker color and I'm going to cover the redness on the nose because my nose is red from blowing it. My cold wasn't too bad. I'm going to tell you what, guys, I took NyQuil yesterday. Wow. I don't know if I'm ever going to take that again. That knocked me out. And the problem is I wasn't going right to bed. I mean, it was so bad. It was not good. So I'm going to take my main shade and I am going to, well, hang on. I'm going to do something here. I'm going to take a dab of the dark and a dab of my main. I'm actually going to take it on my under eyes because when I do my under eyes, I darken them either with like my darker foundation or bronzer. And I am just going to sweep just a little bit into my eyes. I want them darker. And the reason I want them darker is it hides my under eye darkness better. So see how that just darkened that up just a little bit? Okay. So now I did my darker shade. Now I'm going to go into my next main shade. And it's just, I have no makeup here. I have none like right in here. So that's just where I'm going to apply it, what's left on my skin. So I don't use a lot ever. If I use a lot, it's not, you're going to get too much and you're going to add texture. So we're just going to use just a little bit. So when I say a little bit, here's my brush. I mean, it has discoloration a little bit. This is what I do. I'm not going like this. I am not sweeping a bunch of gunky on my brush. I tap in real lightly and then I'll apply it. And if I think I need a little bit more, then I'll tap in and then put a little bit more. I would rather go back for more than glob too much on and create texture because too much makeup is going to create texture. I don't care what makeup you're using. When you have a face that moves like us and it has texture on it, it'll just accent it and you're not going to like it. All right. So let's go into under eye concealing. One of the things for most of us, I feel like into 2025, when you are doing under eye darkness, so many of us have it. I have not as much as a lot of you. I know some of you have like very, very dark under eyes. So I want you to kind of take and put aside just for a minute and hear me what you used to do. You would maybe take a light concealer and stick it on that darkness. What I want you to do is actually take a darker concealer, or I want you to take a color correcting shade. If you're muddy brown, muddy gray looking, a lot of times you're actually blue and you need a peachy color to color correct that area. So that could be a Demi product. We have color correctors, or you could use maybe Frenchie, anything like that. And do I want to use a brush or do I want to use my finger? I think I'm going to use my finger. I'm going to put just a tiny, tiny bit of Frenchie on here. And I'm going to tap it on the blue and the purple of my eye. So I don't have a lot, like I said. And what we're doing is we are color correcting the shade that we have. And that is how you're going to use less makeup. That's where you're going to get the best payoff and be able to use less makeup. Now for me, my under eye darkness, I can actually cover it with my darker foundation shade, but I just want to show you, for all of you that you can't use the 3D makeup, that you need to use a color correcting shade. Let me grab that brush again. I'm going to grab this and I'm going to put a little bit right here. So we're going to color correct it, and then we're going to go in and then I'm going to put a little bit of this other shade on there. And then we're just going to completely blend that in. And then I'm going to take a little bit of bronzer and put it on my under eye. So right now, see how I'm white right here? The white for you, if you have dark under eyes, makes the dark look darker. I know that's weird, but you know, if you put light next to dark, it can make it look darker. So what we're gonna do is then we're gonna darken the under eyes. I don't want that brush, I want this one. Okay, so the small end of that brush, even, I need to sacrifice one for my creams. The small end of the eyeshadow brush, I think would be amazing. So I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna take it into my bronzer. And I've been playing with different colors. This is Bella. I use Bella and Suede lip liner sometimes. Not a lot on there. Okay, it's probably too much. I'm gonna tap a little bit on my hand and then I'm gonna darken this. Now see, I'm not pressing very hard. I want it to really flow around. That's why I think the eyeshadow brush would be really great too. And I'm gonna darken my under eye. I don't ever use light on my under eyes, ever. Light will accent, I mean, unless you don't have lines under your eyes, any light color is going to make it look more textured. It's just the nature of how it goes. I'm getting the creepiest skin right there. Look at that. It's weird. It's so weird. Like, I can remember my grandma's hands being like that. I know mine are headed there. But it's just weird to have it on your own face. You know what I mean? Okay, so we're getting that darkened up. I'm really, really careful. This takes me a little bit longer because I don't want to get much makeup on. All right, so I do this afterwards to make sure I don't have too much on too. So if you have hollows of your eyes like me, see these right here? Keep the bronzer out of there because they'll make them look darker. So darken up the under eye. And then I'll lighten those up. Okay. So the under eye is darkened, and then we are going to take, do you guys want me to contour? Does anyone want me to? Like, if you're on here on live, if you're live, you'll know because it'll say live, I think, up in the corner. If you want me to contour, let me know and I will contour. Otherwise, I'm going to go right into some other ways to create dimension. All right. Okay, so next we are going to, I don't see anyone commenting. Okay, so next we are going to put blush on. And I like to put it on with my fingers like this because I like to have it right where I want it. These are creams. They're so nice. They warm up with your finger and they warm up with your face. You can apply it with your brush. I just like using my finger. And so I have kind of purpley pink tones on today. So I will probably use, this is Nude, which is a really pretty complementary color to Lullaby. Contour, please, Cindy says. Yes. All right, we'll contour. Let me grab another blush color to go with my Nude. I think I'll pull out a pinky color. Okay, so let's contour. I do skip that a lot. Okay, so I'm going to take the small end of the blend brush and I'm going to take it into my contour. I just changed my contour to Astoria. Not sure this is the one for me. I had Indigo, but many of us can use so many different colors. And Astoria was my very first one. So let's try it. Okay, so when you contour, I like to start at the cheekbones. You can start on the forehead. Well, let's go up and go down. So I already pretty much have a decent amount of dimension up here, but you can contour. That's why I use Indigo for videos. You can't see it otherwise. All right, so we're gonna go right around the hairline, and then you're gonna push it up into the hairline. What you're doing, so I want you to understand the principle of it. You are trying to just create dimension and not be flat. So it's that 3D look. But what you're also doing, you can do on your forehead is if you have a long forehead, it can shorten it. So where you put your shadows up in here, you can shorten it. And especially right here in the middle, if you have a long forehead or if you have a long face, I have kind of a long face. So I pretty much go all the way through there. And then on the cheekbones, I might have to pull my end to go out if we can't see this. On your cheekbones, if you want to find where you contour, you can take like something like one of these brushes, and if you roll, I can find right there where I can, where it's underneath my cheekbone, and it's at the top of my ear down towards my mouth. But I always stop my contour at the corner or at the corner of my eye, because we don't want to come in too far because we're hollowing out down in here. So let's take here and let's start. That's funny, we left a mark. Did I have something on it? It doesn't matter. Okay, so kind of the top of the ear, find underneath that cheekbone, and you can tap it on like this if you want. That's kind of nice. It left me a mark so I could see it. You can tap it on, and you're always thinking up. If you're going to make a mistake, make it be high. Okay, and then you're going to stop at the corner of your eye. And then if anything, you can kind of come out a little bit and not down. Oh, thanks, Danielle. It is Pup and Lullaby. And then I put Drift on the eyelid, and Drift really makes them pop. So thank you. Okay, Astoria over here. So again, we're going at about the top of the ear. So right here. Okay. If you make a mistake, it's not a mistake with cream makeup, and I'll show you here in a minute. Okay. So let's bring this forward, stopped at the corner of my eye right there. I look like death. I'm not really sick, but I'm telling you, the middle of the night is miserable. I get a migraine in the middle of the night. It wakes me up, and then I have to get up, take 2 Excedrin. And then I get up in the morning and I'm not bad. It's so weird. Okay, so this right here and right here, we're just creating a little bit of dimension. See how that's just a shadow. So a lot of us, our cheekbones, our faces are, they're falling a little bit, and we kind of lose our cheekbones. So we're just creating a little bit of a shadow that we have an illusion of a cheekbone. Jowls and such, you can put a little bit right here on the jowl. Don't accent that shadow. And that can help a little bit, but you have to, I would say you need to have smaller jowls than me. Because mine, see where the shadow right here is? And it goes, that would be a jawbone. See where my jawbone is? That's really where you need a shadow. And it comes up on my face just a little bit too much. So my jaw, I can do a little bit. Just do a little bit. I have a very jowly family. And then go underneath the cheekbone. So underneath the cheekbone, under. And then for me, I can do the jowls. If you have jowls, skip this area. And then you can shorten your jaw a little bit. Okay? So I didn't put anything right there because there's already a shadow. And then make sure you swipe this down. Cheekbones up, forehead up, jawline down. Because we don't want a brown streak on your jaw. Indigo was too dark for my jaw, honestly. So that's why I need to change. Okay, so nose. I get asked, see, I wiped all my makeup off of my nose. Because it keeps running. I'm sorry. Okay, it's contouring of the nose. I have been contouring my nose more lately. What you want to do is contour is to slim the nose. So when you do it, you're trying to get it as close together as possible. So you're actually putting it here, almost like on the top. Now I have a little bit wider, longer nose. So for whatever, if you have a tiny little nose, do you even need to contour it? Really? You can, but just that's what you're trying to do. It's not over here. If you put the contour on the side like that, you're going to widen it. What you're trying to do is slim it. So let's take a smudge brush. I'm going to take a smudge brush like this, and we'll take a little bit of this contour. I don't think I like Astoria on me. And I'm going to go from here down straight down. And it's very, 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 very subtle. All right, and then you can even take a little bit, like to shorten mine, I can darken the end of my nose just a little bit. But this has to be really subtle when you do it, because if you do too much, you look like you have a brown nose, and that is not what your goal is. And then you're gonna put brightener down the center. Okay, so we're good there. Is that everything you want to contour? Probably. I do like, for me, I don't have very big lips, so I've already put a little bit of contour there. But contour right here, I do like that. Let's get this, I'm gonna get the spot brush. All right, out here to here. For most of us, avoid anything dark in here because our mouths are turning down, and because they're turning down, you don't want anything dark, so stop about right here on anything. The diamonds are forever. Lip. This is one of our #1 selling things. It's a dupe for, I'll think of it. My husband has the clone. It's a dupe for one of their lip things, and it's so pretty. All right, so now we can do blush. I'm gonna mix some colors because I'm gonna do nude. Nude doesn't show up very much on me, so we're just gonna kind of brighten it up with a little bit of, I think it's pink grapefruit. So I'll put pink grapefruit on first, like so, and I'll just tap a little bit back here, and now think high. Remember, everything that we're doing is creating lift and dimension, lift and dimension, lift and dimension. So we're gonna make sure this is high up on the cheekbone, like so. Okay, and then I'm gonna take a little bit of that nude shade like that, and then we'll put a little bit with it. Okay. So let's take a brush. I'm going to take the shape brush, and then I'm just going to tap it to blend it in. A lot of times I take my fingers, honestly, and then make sure it kind of blends into that contour so you don't have a brown line and then blush. So take it, you know, with your finger or with a brush and make sure that it's blending in there. Oh, I didn't even do that one, did I? There we go. So take it up into the toward the temple, blend a little bit into the contour, and then you can use the brush. Like so. This is the shape brush, one of my very favorites. Okay. And then your blush is on. Again, we're creating lift. Now I like to see how the blush right now, it looks fine. It's not a bad thing, but to me, the lines are too harsh. So I like to take a little bit of my main shade and I just simply swipe a little bit around and feather them in. That's all, like I'm just feathering it in. Oops, I think I got my brightener. And I like to soften them up because I want it to look more like a flushing of the cheeks. I don't want it to look like a big blush line. Okay, now we're gonna create areas of lift and light. And these areas of lift and light are, you can be done if you want. You don't have to do this part, but I really like this part. And what I typically do is I'll skip the contouring and then I'll do these areas of light. For me, it doesn't matter. You do what you want to do. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't make it you feel like you are going to lose your mind. These are just all tips that as a 50-year-old plus, they just help create lift and dimension. So I have my brightening shade, which you might call your highlighter. And it's a cream, and I'm going to tap a little bit of it on. And then I'll just get my hair out, okay? I'm going to show you on the right side of my face what I do. I put a little bit above the peak of my brow, and see how that, I'm not going to leave it like that, but see how that lifts everything? I'm going to go here from the corner of my eye out to the temple. I am going to go under the contour line just a little. Sometimes I'll have to do a little bit of my brightener and my main shade so that isn't too light. And then I go right here where my jowl, right above my jowl, where I'm sinking in, and put a little bit of light. Remember, light brings forward. So we're simply bringing forward and lifting these areas. And then we had a little bit down the center of the nose. So let's get out the spot brush. And then we're going to make it really, really thin. That was so much makeup. That, ladies and gentlemen, is too much makeup. That's okay. So let's just pat it off. Okay. And then we have the contour. Another thing you can do is do the brightener and then the contour. Because if you then you can kind of bring that contour back in, and that's okay. And then I'm going to go right here in the center of my brows. If you have deep 11s, I have really big pores right here, but this doesn't seem to make them pop. So I still do it. Okay. For some of you, I can't do that. I'll try it. You can put it right next to the nose and bring it up right here. Do you see how I have deep nasolabial, whatever those are, and then I have a line here, and then I have a line there? Because of that, I have to be really careful with this part, but let's just do it, okay? So next to your, right there, and then right there, and then that's just gonna help create lift. It doesn't look that great on me, but I'll do it for you. So, and then we just blend everything in. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to blend it into my temple, and kind of, our temples are sinking. So to create a little bit of a lift, I can put a little bit of a lighter color in there. I'm going to blend this in. And then I'm going to make sure this is blended, looks nice. Right here. And then let's just kind of, I'm going to add a little bit of my main shade here. Kind of tap around here. Sniffing. So rude. Okay. So if you look here, again, it's subtle. It is very, very subtle. That's what we want. We don't want really, you know. And then I like to, now my eyes are different than yours, but I'm really sinking right here. I mean, I'm sinking in the whole thing. But when you look at me straight on here, so I'm going to add light in that area only. That's where my crepey skin is. So I have to be really careful. And then I tap it on the top of my cheekbone, because that'll create a little bit of lift. You can also, on the top of that cheekbone right here, put a little illuminator. I just don't. All right. Okay, and that's it. Just make sure it's all blended in. No white streaks. Tap it with your finger. Make sure it's all good. Nice little subtle areas of lift. And then we're done. Did I put any makeup right there? I don't think I did. There, that was my darker shade. Hello, my griddle. Wake up. Okay, so this side has those lighter areas of lift. This side does not, so let's make a match. So if you just got on here, we're gonna go above the brow. See how that just creates that lift right there. This is very subtle. It's not an actual facelift, but it's just ways to create a little bit of lift in the best way that you can. This is the over 50 brightening. And then here in that hollow of my eye, I didn't grab the small brush, but we'll just fudge it. On the top of the cheek, a little bit underneath the contour, a little bit under in the hollow of my cheek, like I have a hollow right here. I'll put a little bit of brightener there, and then I'm going to take a little bit of my main shade and my brightener and go right here. Maybe I do like that. You know how I said beside the nose, I didn't think that worked for me? Let's try it on this side. So we had this line here, and so we're going to take on here, and we're going to go up like that. And let's just try it. You guys just have to try it. Not everybody can do everything. And let's see if maybe that helps create a little bit of lift. I put a little brightener right there. I shouldn't have. And then just make sure it's all blended in, like so. Hi, is it Lisa or Lisa? How's it going? This is Saint Makeup. So it's a cream-based foundation system, all magnetic. Everything's all in one palette. And so they have double-ended brushes. So that's the brush that I was using. It's amazing for, I come on here as a 55-year-old woman and show it to you. Believe you me, there's a whole lot of young little whippersnappers that use this makeup and it looks absolutely stunning. But it is so good for mature skin because we can take the makeup and put it where we want it. And that is so key. We can just take care of our distractions and we can use the most minimal amount possible. And you still get that nice, dewy, thank you. You get that nice, dewy, pretty look that doesn't look all mattified and make your skin look dry. That's not what we want. We have a lot going on. So we need to adjust all the things. So if you're a powder girl, not very often do I have very many of you go, why not powder? Why can't I use powder? Like, you guys don't really resist me on the powder. Well, I'm probably not going to use it because I can't even sneak and find it. Where did I put it? See, they come like this. These are the tins that come. And then you can't open them. You open them like that, and then you pop them in your palette. And we're coming to the UK. So good if you're here and you're like, I can't get in the UK. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Well, I can. Oh, there's my powder. All right, so a little bit of powder. I broke my other one. Either one, but just, you can take a little bit of powder. That is enough for 20 old people. Take it off. Take a tiny bit and then press very, 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 very lightly. Okay? Powder can make you really look textured, especially on my acne scarring. It really wreaks havoc there. I usually can't even put any, or it really brings out the texture. So if you're going to do any of that, really super lightly. Oh, thank you. Thank you. You guys are so good. Okay, that's it. I'm done. I'm done. Of course, if any questions, there's a link right here. I will put it into my description. If you're watching on the replay, I would love it. Angela, I used, I'll show you too. I used Pup, which is a nice, cool shade for the mobile lid. I used Lullaby, which is a really pretty, what is that? Mauve color. And then I used Drift on the mobile lid. Isn't it pretty? It's so good. And then I use a little bit of Cupcake under the brow. So it's a really, I usually when I wear this combination, I will get people, they're like, what is that? I think really honestly, and I'm not just saying this, Lullaby is for every single eye color. It really truly is. It looks so pretty. It's not overly pink. You know what I mean? It's just it's mauve. I guess, is that 1993? Whatever. Oh, good. Hi, Cindy. Oh, hi. Thank you, Cindy. All right. I already said hi to you. So I'm so glad you're here. You stayed through the whole thing. I love it. All right. I'm going to go blow my nose. See you guys. Thanks for being here. Bye.